Okay, how's everybody doing in the wasteland? Uh, it's been I keep trying to make these videos regular, but I think once a month is about the best I can do. But so this is the car of the month build for February, and the theme was Mad Max Fury Road. So I did this war rig because the guys over at Gaslands UK, they kind of cheekily challenged people to make a war rig. Um, so I'm one of those people that I tend to respond to challenges. So uh, I ended up doing a war rig. So technically, this is going to be an Order of the Inferno war rig. Um, and wanted to just kind of show it off a bit here. It's fully articulated and everything, so that's one of the necessary requirements for a war rig in the game. But you just kind of see here the front. Um, my printer went on the fritz, so I wasn't able to make the actual official War Boys logo. So I used a temporary tattoo and attached it to a treated piece of paper. And then I set the paper on fire to kind of get that look there. And you see here, it's got the front mounted flamethrower. It's got extra headlights off of a 30s model Ford. So it's got 6 sets of headlights. And it's got the V8 engine that came off of a Nissan hard body Hot Wheels truck. And the original engine in this, it was actually a little bit bigger, and it had piping that ran through here and up here, and then it shook from side to side as the car rolled. But it looked a little too cartoony, and while Mad Max is certainly a little over the top, there's a certain groundedness to it, so I took the cartoony stuff off. But I did leave the shark's mouth. This was originally a black truck, and I painted it in chrome and then kind of went back over the shark's mouth to make it a little rougher. But so you can see here the flame effects, and then of course the flame effects up here. You can see that that was all done with hot glue, which was an effect that I hadn't tried before. I've used hot glue for making slime and a few other things, but I saw this video where a guy was using hot glue to make fire effects, and so I borrowed it, and I think it looked out pretty good. The one thing that kind of bugged me about the whole this challenge, though, is the War Boys, while they're over the top and they got the shiny and chrome and everything, their actual color palette is pretty much black, brown, and silver, or even then it's really a metallic, silver. So, um, to me it comes off as a little drab. So I added the flame logos and the skull imagery and stuff because it makes it, I think, look a little bit better and ties it more to Gaslands via Fury Road than just if I was making something for Fury Road. But you can see here the truck's got this mesh here on the front, and I did all the armor plating, and then we've got the guys here. I had some figures that had hair on them, which I know most of the War Boys are bald. So I had to improvise a little bit, but so I got that, and I got the little boomsticks. I forget what they're called. I think they're called maybe Thunder Poons or something like that. But they're basically made with the tops of toothpicks, and what was it? Paper clips. And this here is basically treated paper, where you take the paper, and I got this from Gaslands TV, where you wet down basic printer paper, and then you crumble it up to get the wrinkles, and then you let it dry, and then you put layers of Mod Podge on it to give it some rigidness. And so that's where all this, like this here's the same thing. This is just paper, and this is paper, and it gives it. It's very stiff, and it's it's tabletop good. So it's not going to deteriorate if it accidentally gets wet, or it's on there. Like, you can see, I'm giving it a good tug. It's not going to rip unless you really tugged at it. And so yeah, so this is my entry. It's got the Witness Us, and it's got the chains, and it's very rusty. Let's see here if I can kind of get around here to show it off a little bit better. But you can see here, I was looking up the Colt of the V8, and some of them have like gray foreheads that are like elite. So like you got this guy here who's an elite guy, and I gave him some chrome armor because I figured, again, it's Gaslands too, so I don't know, get this thing turned out. This thing is a mess to work with. So yeah, I know you're getting a good look at my water bucket there, but there we go. I have two hands here to work. I really do need a rig to hold this up. And so you can see here, like, these are my guys, and there's comfy chairs to sit in, and the banner there is a Dark Angels banner that I took a steering wheel and I stuck it on there to kind of add that religious Cult of the V8 thing. And here's a better look at the flame effect. That turned out really well. I'm really happy with how that turned out. And the progression from the yellow to the orange and red and black. Normally I would have done, I would have just used colored wool and, dyed the wool and stretched it out. So it's a different way of doing things. And try to really get that dust effect going. And I think I achieved it. I really do. I think it really does look, like it's came out of the Australian desert, And you can see here, trying a little OSL. I'm not the biggest fan of OSL, but I mean, little baby steps into trying it. I know some people really like it, but you can see I was messing around with it here on the helmet and everything. I mean, it's supposed to be a flaming skull there, and of course you got the fire reflecting on this guy's visor. But overall, I think it looks really good. I think it turned out pretty well, the best I could hope for. And so that's what I got done for Car of the Month. And then I've got some cool stuff I did for myself. And some people may remember when I made this guy. This is my Cyborg T-Rex. He was for a Car of the Month. May Day last year. And I had some other plastic dinosaurs laying around. And I didn't really customize these too much because I just wanted to have something to play. The Big Game Hunter. So there's destroyed cars under their feet. So, there's a Stegosaurus here, and he's got metal spikes instead of bone spikes. And you can kind of see the damaged car and everything. And, these are just cheap dollar store toys that are repainted. And, so, I mean, it's not the... it's not Golden Demon or anything, but it's, something that can be played with. And I've got 2 more. And you can see the Triceratops. It's got rusted metal spikes replacing its horns. And, trampled car. And it turned out well. I really think these turned out pretty good just for simple dollar store dino toys. And there's my Spino. With his bloody lips, and you can see here the eyes look really good. This turned out pretty good. And he's crushing a purple Camaro, ripping it apart. And he's had himself a meal. So, yeah, I liked how this one turned out. And we've got, I picked these up from Amazon. They're a tad bit, I think they're for Warhammer scale figures, but they work for Gaslands too. And that's these simple little walls that put together, put some posters on them, a little bit of rust, a little bit of dust for the post-apocalyptic. And I got it, of course, for Gaslands, but it's good for any miniatures, skirmish game, modern, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. And and some of them have little slots to hook them up to make them a larger wall section. But I mean, for Gaslands, I mean, it's not that bad. It's like it's a little bigger, but I mean, like this here is a car door. So if you say that's a Riggs door, that's fine. And I did some temporary tattoos, used those as graffiti. And a little bit of rust, a little bit of dust. And giant washing machine. Probably came off of one of those industrial coin-op ones. And so you can see a little alien there, and then you got a little rainbow. Because somebody probably painted that to make them feel better about the dredges of the apocalypse. And there's another one of those little cute cow things that somebody painted. Make themselves feel better. And of course you got a skull. And so yeah, those are pretty simple. Then we got some more terrain I built. This is one of those dollar store. You can get them at Dollar Tree, little garage. And this is now Millie's garage. So you got this dinosaur advertisement. Millie fixes Mega Rexes too. Kind of, I know there's a Hot Wheels monster truck called that, but I just thought it was funny. And so you can see here it's got some dirty windows, and I did up the back so it's a little more realistic looking. And the windows are basically cut up plastic packaging off of one of those NASCAR cars. And so you can come ahead and see here, they're just glued into place. And then of course you can see the interior here. It's just a little garage. It's something the cars can run into and smack into, or you can put a car in there and have it as a display. And and then I got this one, which is just, this is supposed to be a car wash thing. I left the original stickers on it because I thought it was kind of funny. But there's another alien with Mars is a lie graffiti. And of course this all big rusted cylinder now out in the wasteland for someone to smack into. And of course it could be somebody's home too. They're gonna be hiding out there. Now this one here is a cut up Matchbox set, and so it folded up into like a little like, mini lunchbox thing, and I basically just cut it into pieces and cannibalized it up, and then added the charger that's kind of wrecked into the wall. But I like how it's got these like little lizard. It's got a little lizard there, and it's got this little snake here, and I added the little sign, you know, speed limit 35 mph. But this is one of those kind of pieces of terrain you can just toss out onto the table, and it kind of fits with my other roads and stuff that I've built. So, and then I got this one. This one's a little more involved. So you got this little, I guess you curved up ramp, or I could put something on top of here and extend it out if I want to. And then you got this Buick that's caused somebody to have a bad day, and so yeah, you can see there's the remnants of some poor person. Again, that was all made by hot glue, by the way. That was, again, hot glue tricks. And you can see over here, got this Lambo sticking out. Pipes made with a drinking straw. So this was probably some sort of garage that got wrecked by an earthquake or hit by artillery or whatever. And so it's all pretty well beat up. And then you got this one little gun turret, so that can be used for like Arena of Death and those kind of things. And pretty simple to build. I mean, really, it's just rocks, and the rocks come from those aquarium rocks. That's basically all this is. So, and then painted it and dry brushed, and so it's, didn't take too much effort. But then we've got a few cars, and so first off, I have a monster truck for my highway patrol called Crash, and it was made with a dollar store monster truck, so I've been wanting to kind of do a better one. And this one turned out to be a pain in the butt, because the original casting that I was going to use, it was this Monster Jam truck, and it had Monster Jam written on the side of it. I thought it was just a decal, because I won't wear my glasses, and I realized it was actually molded into the metal, and it was molded in such a way that if I tried to file it down, it would just be a mess. So I ended up having to scramble for a replacement. So this is Crash 2, really. And so it's chained here. The ram is basically made out of scrap plastic I found, and well, the ram mounting section is. This actually is implements a Carnage ram. And more tops off of toothpicks. And a 3D printed cop I made. And he's tied to, see, I don't know if you can see it here. You can actually see he's tied to the front of the ram, so, safety first in the wasteland, I guess. But it's kind of a weird build, because the casting I had to use ended up a little bit shorter than, so it's got kind of this weird forward squat to it. But I don't know. It's the wasteland. I guess you make do with whatever you got. But I still think it fits. It fits the theme. So that's the replacement for my original Crash. If anybody wants to know what Crash is, it's community resources against street hoodlums. It was it was a police thing done in LA, and it was technically a complete failure, but I like the name. And then we got this one here. This is for my Maxine team. This is for the Glasswalkers. And that's why they got the werewolf logo. And this one, again, this one's a pretty simple build. I just had to put the figures in. And I got these wheels from Creepy Hero. They make some resin wheels that are small, and I am really happy that, because a lot of these cars, a lot of the 3D printed wheels and stuff are actually much bigger than Hot Wheels wheels in some cases. And like, this is a Tomica Lancia Stratos, and I mean, the wheels on it were even smaller than this one's by just a hair. And so I was able to, have nice 3D printed wheels because of Creepy. So I mean, that turned out really well. I'm really happy with this car. So that's the Glasswalker. I'm not quite sure what this one's going to be called. It's probably going to be the main car for that team is called Krynos. So that's the war form of the werewolves from Werewolf the Apocalypse. So it's probably Hispo or Galabro. And if you know what I'm talking about, you're a nerd. But don't worry, I'm a nerd too. So, and then we've got the Jet Cobra, which is this Ford Focus with a massive jet engine. And the jet engine is made out of a super glue lid because they look like jet engines. And so I kind of wedged it in there. I wish I had thought of this car when we were during the car of the month dragsters, because this really turned out well. It's a simple build. It's not like super fancy, but it's side napalms and jet engine, and then it's an Idris vehicle, and then you got this Ghost Cobra, and a little bit of battle damage. Again, that's temporary tattoos. Sometimes they'll fade like that if you don't use a lighter background. But if you like that ghost effect, which I do, it's alright. It turns out okay. And then we have a little comedy one. And this is the Infiltrator. And it's just a little hover bike with a totally not Solid Snake figure. Totally not Big Boss from MSG3 on a little hoverboard craft. Trying to get my finger out of the way here because I'm trying to show him off. But, David Hayter would be proud, I guess. But that's more of a joke vehicle I made out of some scrap and a failed 3D print. And I was just like, yeah, I have a figure. Like, I might use it. I don't know. And this is Black Sabbath. This is one of my Rutherford teams. It's twin miniguns, twin front gun. Twin miniguns, heavy machine gun. 1970 was, the first official album of Black Sabbath. And then we got this furry version of the Black Sabbath logo, which I found on the internet, and I loved it, so I used it. And, the little pigs here, for war pigs. And, so, yeah, I like this. This is, again, the most simple, very simple build. I mean, I just changed the wheels and added the guys and the guns, and it turned out beautiful. This is, that's a quintessential Rutherford vehicle right there. That right there is, if you're building a Rutherford team, that is Rutherford right there. That's what a Rutherford truck should be. Lots of bullets. And so I like that one. That one turned out really well. And last but not least, some of y'all remember I have a team, a slime team called Hard Candy. And the lead car of that one is called Jawbreaker. So I made him if you remember, he lost all his teammates in my exhibition video. So here's his new teammate, Lemon Drop. And it's got side ram, front ram, and since it's a slime vehicle, rams don't count for the for the slots. So it's got a heavy machine gun and, you know, dropper at the back. Or it could go armor plating, but I think I might go dropper for some extra points, cans. But all the spikes are toothpicks, and some 3D printed armor plates and 3D printed fella with the. I cut the old gun off and put this 3D printed, very tiny tank gun on there to make it the heavy machine gun, and that is a Ogre Kingdom's fist mounted to a gun mount that I then mounted to the front to be a ram. And you can see all the candy and the needle reference for Hard Candy, you know. But, you know, slime. I think it turned out pretty good. I like this one. I'm still not crazy about painting yellows and oranges, which is terrible because I like painting yellow and orange, and I've still not found a great technique for it, because some people told me to paint, if I was going to paint yellow, to paint the car pink first, which is what I did with this. I painted it pink and then painted the yellow on top of it. But it still looks a little caked, and I still can't get a good yellow finish, and it is driving me crazy. And I can't, and the same with orange. Like, this and this, not that one. That actually is good stuff. That's that dry rust. Where's that other orange? There's both of these. Disappointed in. They don't cover at all. And it's like they don't cover any better than these paints. I've got oranges in these paints that cover so much better. And I am so disappointed in these. But anyway, as far as that goes, that's just how it is. And I hope y'all enjoy this video. For those that like to see me go through regular Hot Wheels and stuff, I'm planning on doing a video for that. I've got some new stuff to show. But yeah, for the most part, this is what I've been working on for the last month or so. And so, yeah, if you enjoyed, like, share, subscribe. You know, thank you for spending time with me, and take care, be safe, and goodbye.